Greetings, my fine fellow friends. Today I am really excited to talk about just kidding. I am gonna talk about the symptoms of Hashimoto's and hypothyroid, and guess what the first one is? I'm just right on the edge of my seat. Number one, brain fog and forgetfulness. Even just like talking to people, I would forget words that I was going to say, and I'd be like, I know I want to use that word, but I don't remember what that word was. And I'd have this whole like thing going on in my head, and I couldn't like push through it. And sometimes I'd try to be focusing on something, and I just would be at a blank. It was like this heavy fog in my head. Like I couldn't think past it. I'm not stupid, I promise. I just have Hashimoto's. It's like this intense just cloud that like follows you around, and you're just like, I hope no one notices that I don't know what's going on. Dos. Weight gain. Yeah, that one is super annoying. And not only does it cause weight gain, but the weight doesn't come off. It's like the little fat cells are just like packing these like intense rolls of like tiny little tape, like duct tape, and they're like walking around your body, and they're just like, yes, let's tape this one here and this one here. And it's like the longer that it like sticks to you, like the harder it is to like peel it off or something. One of the reasons that Hashimoto's causes weight gain and makes it really difficult for you to lose weight is because your thyroid is like directly in control of your hormones. And so when your hormones are out of balance, they're being fought against, and your body is just out of whack. You're holding on to like fake estrogen and chemicals. Your body's just like, I don't know what to do with all this stuff. And so then it just holds on to the weight. It holds on because you're just like always in fight or flight mode. Your body is always feeling like it's being attacked. So it doesn't have time to just relax. Be like, hey, you know what? Let's enjoy it, and like let's let go of some of this stuff. I also think that the weight gain is probably one of the biggest motivators to getting well, because it's so visually like it's kind of like a visual of what's actually going on. And so you're like, there's something not right here. Like your body always wants to be well. Your body is always working to be at ground zero and be healthy. So if you give it the right tools, it's going to want to do that. So if you're holding on to weight, usually there's a reason. Here's me at 210 pounds, and then me at my current weigh-in at 167. Number 3, fatigue and muscle weakness. That has been a huge struggle because my job is really physical. I lift weight all the time. I'm a shipping coordinator, so I'm always like lifting boxes, packaging stuff, moving things to the scale. And I noticed just very slowly like I was weaker, and I've always been very strong. I grew up on a farm, and I was always like bucking bales and stuff like that, and I was bragged. I was like, I can buck bales with the best of the boys. And all of a sudden I'm like, oh my gosh, like I can barely lift this. This sucks. Or I dread lifting, like not that I still couldn't do it, but I just felt it. And just being tired all the time, like getting a full night's sleep, 8 hours, and eating and resting and like not really doing anything because I'm so tired, and then still being tired. Oh my gosh. And so some of the reason for that is because when you have Hashimoto's or an autoimmune disease in general, your body is just like, it's always in fight or flight. So you're going to be taxing your adrenals, and your adrenals need to have quite a bit of nutrients and support and rest to heal. And if they're not getting it, you're never going to feel normal. Plus, Hashimoto's just in general like sucks the life out of you, because like it's affecting your hormones, it's affecting everything in your body. You're all the way down to a cellular level. I think that the best way to describe the kind of fatigue that comes with having Hashimoto's is like a zombie. That pretty much covers it. It's basically what it's like. In fact, the world will probably become filled with zombies because everyone in the world will end up triggering their autoimmune disease, and everyone will just like be zombies and take over the entire world with their zombie-like behavior, and then they'll have little tiny zombies because it's genetic, and they'll pass it on to their little children, and everyone will just be walking around like little zombies. It was a really good comparison to how I felt when I was fatigued and had Hashimoto's brain. It was like zombie brain. It was exactly like being a zombie. Number 4, joint stiffness. Do you suffer from joint pain and joint stiffness? Me too. I used to have so much pain in my joints, especially my wrists and my shoulders, when I would eat nightshades. Like to the point where I couldn't lift my arm. I would just be like, ugh. Or turn a doorknob. Like it would just hurt so bad. And it hinders activities, like daily activities.
Number 5, depression.
Let's talk about depression. So depression is a huge one that I struggled with. And my mood was just crazy, up and down, and terrible. And it's not only hard on yourself because you're just like super sad and never want to get out of bed and you just want to pull the covers over your head, but it's also hard on everyone else around you because they don't know how to help you, and it's not their job to help you. I mean, it kind of is if it gets to a certain point, but that's like a whole nother thing. But it's just terrible. Like dealing with depression is like, it's hard and it's very scary. And like, I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what was wrong with me. I thought that I was like crazy. And so I feel like depression is probably one of the scariest symptoms of Hashimoto's and side effects of it. That's my opinion. Okay. Number 6, inflammation and swelling. Oh God, the dreaded swelling. That swelling is awful. It's so uncomfortable. My hands will swell up and they're just like little sausages, little ones, but they're fat. And they're sore, and they just, like, I didn't know that I had knuckles, and I didn't know that I had veins in my hands because my hands were just always swollen. And that is caused from inflammation. And that is because when you have Hashimoto's, your body is constantly like on alert, and it's just like, and I also had a lot of puffiness in my face, swelling in my face, and so you're just walking around like a big balloon animal. You're just like, and so you're just like, you have like little balloon animals on your fingers, and it's just terrible. Number 7, intolerance to cold and heat. One of the symptoms of Hashimoto's is sensitivity to the cold. And now, I don't have as much problem with being sensitive to the cold. Like, I like being cold. I would much prefer to be cold. I'd rather bundle up in like a little blanket and be all toasty with a hot cup of tea and a movie and a rainy day. I don't mind being cold. It's fine. I can be cold. It's great. But what I have an issue with is being too hot. I hate it. Oh, I hate it so much. And so I'm like super sensitive to being too hot. And I don't know that that's actually as common of a symptom, but I'm just throwing it out there in case other people are like, I have Hashimoto's and I'm not sensitive to the cold. And I'd be like, well, I'm sensitive to the heat. So, you know, maybe we can hang out in like a super cold room and drink tea together and just like not be in the heat and sweating and stuff. So
I just rather cuddle up with my blankie. Cozy.
Number 8, constipation and bloating. One that people probably don't really want to talk about, and that is constipation and bloating. So I'm gonna get a little personal here, but because I have dealt with constipation and bloating so much in my life, like I just always thought that my stomach was just always supposed to have pressure in it, and I always thought it was supposed to hurt. And then I started like figuring out that when it isn't bloated, it doesn't hurt and it feels great and I feel skinny. What? And then the other issue is that I didn't poo very much. And so I just was really grateful when I did. And I would just tell people, like my really, really close friends, I'd be like, this is personal. This is kind of, I would say, I love pooing. It's my favorite thing. It's like the best thing invented ever. So anyways, yeah, constipation sucks. It's a big deal. Plus you're not like getting the toxins out of your body. They're just like stuck there and like absorbing back in, I would assume. And so like if you can't poo, then you're not like gonna get better because everything's just like staying inside of you. Well, that just about does it. I think that there are a bajillion symptoms, a bajillion, like way too many to even like count. Like there's so many things that goes on, and like all of these symptoms have little sub symptoms, like they're just like yeah, totally filmed this all in one sitting because it's not like I had a St. Patty's Day party to go to. I didn't. I'm lying. I couldn't. I had to go to a party. I had to cut up a pineapple, and then I had to leave. That's it for now. Have a fantastic time and a wonderful evening and a wonderful day, and good morning and salutations, my fine fellow humans. Until next time, I hope that you all have wonderful lives, live in the moment, and use the positive force for good.
A little bit of positive force now and then, help the fellow human now and then.